Chris has written, I found this useful. However, aside from pulling the cable out, how do you go back to the initial screen with the 4 modes? So this is in response to the stuff I'm doing on the Kordbot at the moment, and responsible to a video I did in March this year. So what I would say, Chris, is check out the playlist for the Kordbot on the channel. There is a video there that actually drives more into the navigation of the Kordbot. It's not obvious how this works, but actually once you understand how it works, it's really, really simple. So go and have a check out of that video. I have put the link below this video if you want to go and see it. Okay, Joe writes, nice, if I had a DX7 this would be amazing. All of the Dtronics programmers are great. I have a DT01 and it's awesome. Now, you know, I haven't invested in a DT01 because I have a PG1000, but I have to be honest and say my DT7 is awesome. Once you get used to it, now I am going to be doing some more videos on the DT7 because one of the things about the DT7, and I suspect with a number of the other programs, is you sort of kind of have to understand how the synth generates the sound. And it's something it goes back to sort of the original way of programming an FM on the DX7. On the DX7 you have to know which combination of oscillators you are going to program against. And once you understand that, then programming and generating the sound becomes easy-ish. Yeah, easy-ish. I'll leave it at that. So yes, I agree. The DT7 and the Dtronics stuff seems to be very, very fit for purpose. Expensive, but fit for purpose. So maybe, you know, it's an excuse to invest in the DX7. The FM clicks. I mean, the FM sounds, you know, it's sweet. It's 80s, it's sort of that 70s, 80s sort of transition when all the bands were using this sort of technology. So it's very sweet, but and maybe I will invest in a DT01 someday. This is quite amusing actually. I have comments like this quite often, but I just chose to answer this one on the channel. Donnie writes, if I had £1 for every time I said I'm not going to buy it, I'd be rich. Yes, I know the feeling. And then he goes on to say I'm still kind of resisting the SEO2. And I am too, actually, if I'm honest. I saw the SEO2 being demoed in the toy shop a while back, and I was quite taken with it, I have to be honest, but I can't justify it, so I'm in the same boat as you. Resist, 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 and then eventually I'll break down. This was in response to the video I did in April this year about the Behringer clones. Now, I have seen some more on the Behringer clones. They definitely made a bit of an impression at Soft Booth in Berlin recently. And I probably will be doing some more videos about the Behringer clones because although I said I'm not going to get them, I'm sort of teetering on the edge because they are the size of the original. So I've got a TR09 and I've got a TR08, and they're that small, and these are that big. So if you sort of get my drift, but we shall see. And apparently they're quite heavy as well. So I'm like you. I try to have the argument with myself, and then the little boy takes over and says, "Shiny new toy, you must have it." And it's Gollum syndrome, isn't it? So I don't know, but good observation. Okay, so Gary writes, and this is quite another longish one, so I'll read from screen. My take on what Behringer are doing is close to yours, in the sense that they've seen a gap in the market and they are filling it, as Roland seemed to be unwilling to do so fully. I feel that ACB, as good as it is, and I love the boutique or 01 as I have it, hasn't caught on well as it should because it's not analog. Well, I sort of kind of agree with what you're saying there. I was really, really against the analog stuff when it first came out, I have to be honest. But it's sort of kind of grown on me. And it's kind of grown on me because I think if you want that authentic sound, this is brand new kit. That's the bottom line. It's brand new kit. You can buy it and it will give you the sound that you're after without having to go to sample banks and stuff like that. Is it a problem for me? It's not analog, no. But there we go. Anyway, continuing on. That said, I'm not an analog purist, you see, just like me. And modelling is so good now that the point is somewhat mute. I have rolling units full of samples, 808, 909, etc. So I don't see a need for the Behringer clone. When the sounds are tracked into a DAW and processed, who really cares what the sound source is, analog or digital? The only consideration should be the sound is good in context. Now, I absolutely agree with what you're saying. My only downside is that this is me, I physically like to touch it. I physically like to tap on the pads and create the sound that way. Right or wrong, that's sort of kind of how I am. I struggle, although I use sampled sounds in my DAW, I sort of struggle with the sort of connecting with the sound. I sound like a Ponzi artist, don't I? Oh dear. Yes, so I'm sort of kind of in that way. Anyway, although I really wish Behringer would reissue the S550 or an iteration of the 16-bit Roland S-series samplers with a newer storage solution, but then I would say that as I had two W30s that bit the dust last year. Good on you. W30 was an utter brilliant machine. I had a friend of mine who had a W30, unfortunately had it stolen about 2 years ago. But he utterly loved his W30. He had loads of other stuff, but he loved his W30. It was just such a brilliant workstation. You can understand why people like Liam from The Prodigy, etc., use that as sort of one of the main staples in producing his music. But you know, where do we go from here? Well, I've said a number of things as I went through talking about what Gary had said. And, you know, I'm not a purist either, and I'm also not prepared to pay $4,500 for an original machine. So where I sit at the moment is, if it's a clone, if it's good, if it has new features, and it comes in at around, I don't know, 400 quid, you know, I'm possibly going to put my hand in my pocket for it. So we shall see. Might have to lock the card in the drawer for a while. So it's that point where I say, did you enjoy it? Because if you did, please give this video a thumbs up. I'm sure by now, if you didn't enjoy it, you've given this video a thumbs down. That's just life. Not everybody enjoys everything, and I recognise that. Over here somewhere is a subscribe button. If you press the subscribe button, every time I upload content to the channel, you'll get a notification. I know I upload videos like this, which is sort of the rant. I upload videos about mailbag items, which is where you or your friends or other YouTubers have left comments on the channel about specific pieces of equipment, and I try to answer those. And I also do videos about the equipment that is within my studio, how to use it, how to take it apart, and sometimes how to repair it. That's what you get from subscribing. It'd be wonderful to see you as a subscriber at some point. Over here will be two videos. One will always be the latest video that I've published to the channel. Another video will be selected at random from the channel based on your preferences by a YouTube algorithm. But it will always be a video from my channel. All that's left for me to do is say I hope to see you again soon, and bye-bye.